Here we are back on Lake Mille, probably one of my favorite walleye lakes in the world, and a lot of that is because of the fact that it has so many walleyes. I've learned a lot from this lake, and just having those repetitions of catching so many fish in a day, it's really taught me a lot about fishing. So I was thinking about shooting this show on the mud flats, and I thought, who could I have with me? And I knew if I called my buddy Kyle Minke and told him, I promise you we won't use any live bait, I knew he'd jump at it. Kyle's usually a tournament bass angler, he fishes nationally. As long as we're using artificial baits, he would jump at the chance of catching walleyes. So we've learned a lot about Active Target, and that's what we're gonna go out there and do today. We're gonna go to the mud flats, we're not using any live bait, and we're gonna get to watch a bunch of big walleyes eat our baits. So stay tuned, and we're gonna show you the next bite.
In recent years, there hasn't been any fishing product released that is changing the way people fish quite like forward-facing sonar.
Oh, come on. Come on. Nice, dude. All right, let's do that again. That was sweet.
That was fun.
Forward-facing sonar like Lowrances Active Target is a sonar that can be used facing out in front of the boat and gives you a live view of what is happening below the water. So not only do you know that you are casting directly at a fish, you can also see how a fish reacts to your bait or cadence, making the possibilities of fishing techniques endless.
Here we are on Lake Mille. It's late June, early July, and we're targeting walleyes out on the mud flats. Unlike early spring where you target them more shallow, where they're up spawning, this time of year they like to move out to the mud and chase mayflies out in the mud that hatch, and the walleyes just love to be out here. A good way to target them is on like the points of the mud flats, or like little inside turns or steep breaks on the mud. The big walleyes just like to hang out there, and it's a good place for them to be. So next time you're out on Lake Mille, try to target them in those areas and you'll have great success.
Oh, it's like blistering to the bottom. Oh, all the way down to the bottom. Oh, there's my jig.
Here he comes.
Yeah. Whoa! Come on. Like 15 feet off. Oh.
Nice. I'll get the net.
That was insane. Dude, that was so funny. The thing was like 15 feet off to begin with, and then it goes back up to 15 feet off the bite. All right, I'll bring it up to you. And then came to the boat. Oh, it came off the net. That was insane. So these fish are up on these mud flats. Power minnow again. These fish are up on these mud flats, and there's some that are really suspended up in the bugs, and this one was literally like 15 feet off the bottom. I made a cast. I didn't see my lure, but I saw the fish just going straight down to the bottom. So then I found my lure, and I just started going ice fishing mode and brought it up probably 10 feet off, and then it just smoked it on the way up. So, dude, talk about the funnest thing ever, for sure. All right, they are biting like crappies right now. We gotta get this thing back. Good job, walleye.
The next bite is brought to you by Mercury Marine. Go boldly. Schaefer's Specialized Lubricants. Putting equipment first. Tracker Boats. Fish the finest. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here. Berkeley. catch more fish. And Power Pole Total Boat Control. Closed captioning for the next bite is provided by Precision Trolling Data, the authority for crankbait diving depth information. One important thing about developing new techniques, especially with electronics, is understanding your settings. Different techniques may demand changes to your electronics based on structure type and depth.
Lowrances Active Target and forward-facing sonar has been changing the way that I fish. Enter Active Target. Now I'm giggling all summer long simply because of the fact that there's a lot of scenarios where I can pan around, find a school of fish, or maybe just one big one, make a precise cast at that fish, watch my lure fall down, and then watch that fish engage. Gives me ability to change my cadence, raise it up higher, let it fall down, and a lot of times even watch that fish bite on the screen. As we're fishing out deep today, we're fishing the mud. We're in 30+ feet of water, and it's really soft bottom. So I've kind of changed my settings a little bit from how I use it in shallow water. One of the things that I started with was I put it out to 80 feet. There isn't really any false returns here at all. Any hard mark that I see is gonna show up as a fish. That's why I push it all the way out to 80 feet. The next thing that I've done is I've changed the contrast. I put the contrast up to +10. This makes it really easy to see my bait. Really the only adjustment I need to do to be able to pick out bigger fish is to look at the size of that mark. So next time you're out on soft bottom, you're out deep, don't be afraid to play with the settings a little bit. Push that out to 80, even 100 feet. Use the power of the Lowrances Active Target, crank that gain up, and it's gonna remind you a lot of ice fishing. You're gonna get to see fish chase your lure and even bite it.
Oh, that one wants to bite. Yeah, it does. Chasing me down. Here it comes. Ooh, missed it.
Oh, it's still active. It's following you back down.
There, I got him.
Nice. I'll get the net. Oh yeah, bring that thing right to me. Horse it, Kyle. Nice. Ooh, nice size walleye. Oh yeah.
Nice. That was sweet.
Yeah, a little fluke lover.
I had to work on that one for a little while.
That thing nipped you twice, didn't it?
It nipped me twice, and then I lifted it up, and it came up and ate it.
That's pretty solid how you can work as a team, and one guy's running the active target. So, you know, I was just concentrating right on his jig, and then we could watch the fish. It would race down. It wanted it following.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So it would race down, and then Kyle just kind of saw that after it nipped it twice and just like fluttered it down really slowly, and the thing just cracked it.
Yeah.
Fun to watch.
See you later. Thanks for playing.
Total Control, presented by Power Pole. 20 years of trust evolved from Total Boat Control.
The forward-facing sonar technology has just become something that so many anglers, no matter what species you're going after, they're using these things. And there's a lot of different mounting options, and I kind of want to run through them and talk about one specific option that I really prefer in a lot of different presentations. And one, obviously, a lot of people see the poles over the side of the boat where you can manually turn the pole in scan areas. Another would be obviously mounting to a trolling motor shaft, or even right to the head of the unit like I have here, right to my trolling motor head. And the reason that in a lot of situations that I like to actually have these transducers, this Lowrances Active Target, set up directly on my trolling motor is the simple sake that I like to really look at the structure as close as I possibly can and maintain being able to fish. So I'm not reaching down and turning a handle. I'm actually running the foot pedal and I'm spanning these areas trying to figure out where the pods of fish are. And by having that on your bow mount, it's easily the best way to find the schools as fast as possible on the structure. But the thing that I think that is especially important about, you know, an active target style transducer is the fact that you can see how the fish are relating to your different presentations. Maybe I'm throwing a shiver minnow at these fish. Maybe I'm throwing jigs and plastics at these fish. And if I'm seeing a bunch of fish around and they're looking like they should be walleyes on this structure and they're not reacting to any of this, which you can actually see plain as day now, you need to move on and try to find some active fish. So I think one of the things that a lot of anglers struggle with is, should I stay or should I go? An active target allows the angler to know if you should stay or go, because are those fish active, are they not active, or should I go find some new ones? Pretty cool technology we have with this Lowrances Active Target.
The best part about fishing artificial baits in the mud on Mille Lake is it's not only walleyes that call the steep breaks home.
Dude, that is a toad. Don't take a bass guy walleye fishing.
Fat little guy.
Is that 4 1/4?
Yeah, maybe 4.
Big smallmouth bass are a pleasant surprise while fishing for walleyes, especially in a lake like Mille where they have exploded in numbers and size in recent years.
All right, here's the setup for today. I'm using a Fenwick world-class rod. It's 7'2", medium extra fast. Just really kind of my favorite all-around jig rod where I'm making long casts. That's what the extra length allows me to do. With the reel, it's a MGX 30, bigger spool size than something I'd use for vertical jigging. And again, that's for these long casts. When I set the hook, I want to be able to reel down fast and pick up line. That's why I like the bigger size spool of the MGX 30. On the business end of this setup, it's really pretty simple. It's just a jig head and a fluke. We've been using Berkley power minnows all day. They have a nice limber action, but really the only action you're gonna get from this bait is just that tail kind of waving around on the fall. So it's really not like a high action of a paddle tail. This one just kind of floats down. It's really one of the best fish catchers of all time. As far as color, we've arrived at just a few colors today. One of them is the smelt. The other one I've been using mostly is pearl white. And then even on a really sunny day, the chartreuse shad is a go-to. So basically, using the active target, we get to see pretty quickly the reaction of these fish to our color. And as we start going through them, there's gonna be a specific color that triggers fish, and it might even be hour to hour. So next time you're out on Lake Mille and you wanna have as much fun as we have today, keep it simple. Put a 1/4, 3/8 ounce jig head on, couple it with a Berkley power minnow, and you're gonna be giggling just like this all day long. Oh, there's one.
Got him?
Yeah.
I'm grabbing
That
that.
was sick. Apparently if there's 4 of them, they start competing. Oh yeah, that's a nice one.
Nice.
Man, I guess when there's 4 of them, you know, there's gonna be some competition.
One of them's got to eat it.
Right.
Nice work.
Thanks, buddy. Nice mudflat walleye.
Beauty.
Not on a leech, not on a creek chub, not on a night crawler. I'll take those every day.
Right.
Piece
For
of cake.
sure. One of the most important things when utilizing active target is making precise casts to the fish. I like to put the fish between 40 and 50 feet and make accurate casts right to them. First, I'll start with a heavier jig, say a 3/8 ounce, and let that bait fall right past the fish. If that doesn't work, I'll just use short little pops to try and get that fish's reaction. And if that doesn't work, I'll start to pendulum my bait, say on a tight line. And that will change the fall rate of your bait. Some days the fish like it moving fast, some days they like it moving slow. If I make a few casts at fish I'm looking at and they don't eat it, I'll switch to, say, a 1/4 ounce jig, and maybe they just want it a little bit even slower and go through all those same cadences. So use active target to your advantage and see that fish's reaction in live time.
Ooh, that's an opportunistic cast. Falling right down on him.
Oh yeah.
Oh, one pump, dude. That was sick.
I'll grab the
Wow,
net.
what is this thing? The head shakes are crazy. It's big, whatever it is, but it's not fighting like a walleye. Wicked head shakes. Holy cow, this fish is big.
It is a bass.
It's huge. Wow, a giant. Oh, are you kidding me?
Wow.
That is a specimen. Look at that thing.
Sick.
Where was this in the sturgeon bait opener? Are you kidding me? So, if those are all bass up there?
It looked like it, yeah.
Yeah. I want to say that might be my biggest bass ever. That thing is a giant.
It's big.
Man, I really want to admire this thing and like have it for a tournament, but I definitely want to cast again because there's like 18 of them. All right, I'm gonna let this thing go. Man, the way this was fighting, I just knew it was something different. A sweet bonus fish.
The next bite is brought to you by Mercury Marine. Go boldly. Schaefer's Specialized Lubricants, putting equipment first. Tracker Boats, fish the finest. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, your adventure starts here. Berkeley, catch more fish. Lowrance, find, navigate, dominate. And Power Pole Total Boat Control. Hot topics, leading information and tackling techniques to make you a better angler. Presented by Mercury.
So it's no secret, one of my favorite techniques is using crawler harnesses. But one thing to me that I always thought didn't make sense is we're using a night crawler to try to imitate something that it's obviously not. And let's face it, a walleye has probably never seen a night crawler a day in its life. And it's just one of those things where, to me, the attributes of a night crawler and why it works is it's very fluid through the water and it has scent. But one bait I've been working on for a few years here is a gulp bait. Now this is the Gulp Spinner Rig Crawler. It's in a 7-inch version. It will also come in a smaller scaled down 4-inch version. But what I tried to do is create a crawler that had everything it needed to for what I thought. And so I went with a full body where your hooks are gonna be, you know, if it's a treble hook or a double or triple octopus hook. But after that, it's super thin because this is where I wanted all the action to be. And not only having the action, I wanted the tail portion of this to collapse. The one thing a lot of times the hard-bodied worms or even a stiffer one is when that fish comes behind it and turns its head, a lot of times it kind of pushes it to the side and you don't get those hookups like you want. I wanted this to collapse on those bites, but not only collapse on those bites, but when you're dealing with surging waves. And so what I did here is try to create the best of both worlds for, you know, maintaining the hooks in it and also maintaining the maximum action. But one of the biggest things we could never do with a crawler harness with the crawler is change colors. And this is one of the things that I'm most excited about, because now imagine having, you know, clears and glitters and purples and things like that behind our crawler harness. Obviously not like a night crawler shape, because to me that does nothing, especially for the Great Lakes fish. And a lot of times we're putting a crawler on in dirty water. Maybe it's a slow turn hook. So to me, I'm super excited about this. I've been working on it for a long time and done a lot of testing on it, and obviously you may have seen it on a show. But to me, I've been super excited about this, and I can't be more than happy with the way that this bait has turned out.
Using forward-facing sonar is going to become normal in many anglers' boats in the future.
Ooh, nice.
Thought he was getting dinner, and it turned out to be a power minnow. It did land right on the nose, so I can't blame him for eating it, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I would do the same thing. It's like a nice gummy worm or gummy minnow that comes down from the heavens. All right, better get it back. Apparently they're biting now, because this is a lot of fun, and the hook set is definitely the best part.
Not only for the effectiveness, but it is very fun being able to see what the fish are doing below the surface, particularly on bodies of water like Mille that are loaded with many different species of fish.
Oh, there he is. Target acquired. Oh, dude, that thing smoked it.
I'll get the net.
That was so cool. I completely saw it posturing. Wow, this is a big one.
Oh,
look at that hog.
Wow.
Whoa! Beauty. Whoa!
Nice work, dude. That's awesome.
Lights out. I saw that thing over to the left, and when it saw that power minnow, it was like target acquired. And I pumped it once, and it was just game on. That is a giant.
That's a big one.
That's very old. As you can see, it's not necessarily the power minnow here, but it's definitely the precision casting thanks to the active target. And like, if they see it come down from the heavens, I don't know, it's just something about free food falling from the heavens.
They have to eat it.
Yeah, like this thing was just completely sold. I'm gonna need the pliers for that one if you wanna grab one.
All right, yeah, I'll grab one.
I can't wait to use this in a tournament when these things are like 9-pounders acting the same way. Little power minnow and a really big walleye. All right, I think it's your turn, buddy. What a hog. Have fun. And a lot of the times I've about as much fun as we have. Oh, the interrupting walleye. Trying to do a tip. Let me come up here for you with this net. That was fun. I was just doing a tip on active target and I watched these 3 big walleyes going towards his jig.
Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, no problem. It's not your fault, it's hers. Well played.
Action.
Okay, you need to be listening. Jeez, I'm serious, he doesn't even know me. We're not saying mud, walleye, Mille. Kyle said that enough.
5 times. That's why using active target works so great. So use that. One of the keys to using active target that I've learned.
Okay, now you're sounding like you're going to a funeral after a funeral. Like 2 funerals in one day. One of the keys to fishing active target that I've learned.
Okay, ready?
But what, hang on.
Give me too much, it's gonna be